What has become of me? Possessed? Cursed? Or something worse? The relic has crumbled to ash, and the cruel rune wounds pulse like fevered welts beneath my skin. I expected a reward. Instead, I approached King Markle trembling with dread. Shock masked the king's face. Yet pity, not wrath, shone in his eyes. He believed the mage's fragile treasure simply could not withstand the journey. And I was a fool undone by my own haste. I received my blood money, 200 crowns, and a hollow freedom. The Academy of Mages taught me discipline, but the voice drumming in my skull and the searing pain left me no recourse. I did not seek oblivion in the tavern, only a moment of silence and reprieve. With every draught, I tried to drown out the whispers of the first. But the first's hunger settled upon my mind like a shroud. The room froze as I demanded a bowl of live marsh rats. Catching a mercenary's stunned gaze, I realized what I had uttered. Leaving shame and whispers, I fled into the night. The mercenary caught the scent of gold. For 5 coins, he led me into the miasma of the marshes. As we gathered vipers and spiders, I understood that Sleem, for that is its name, did not seek to rule me. Once I sated its hunger, it stood by me as a vengeful protector, drawing its strength from my rage. The following day, I spent the lion's share of my gold in the smoky hovel of an old druid. I purchased 3 scrolls, stone skin, healing and haste along with several azure crystals to bypass the agonizing years of study. It took a full week to sear the new incantations into my mind. Though magic could not mend the runic scars, my arm finally began to knit together. Yet every triumph and every shortcut demanded its price. The unceasing concentration left my soul and body utterly spent, and reality began to blur at the edges of my vision. I cannot walk this path alone, but forging an army proved a bleak endeavor. My meager reputation and gold were only enough to keep the mercenary and a few farmhands with trembling hands. As I looked at them, I knew it would take my law and Sleem's fury for these boys to see another sunrise. We took on menial contracts around the city to find our rhythm. Once, at the forest's edge, lashing vines nearly tore us apart. Only the power of stone skin and healing saved the boys. Yet even this minor skirmish nearly broke me. The pay was barely enough to stave off starvation. For a greater tithe, we accepted a night hunt. When the pack struck, I was too exhausted to weave healing mists. Sleem manifested from my rage, crushing the beasts with poison spit. But we lost a boy that night. I realized we needed a man of cloth. The mercenary led me to a ruined monastery to find a renegade priest. He joined us for gold, not faith. With him, the bloodletting finally ceased. Wounds began to close, and the men started to believe in survival once more. During one clash, my rage took a new, bizarre form. At the precipice of defeat, Sleem encased the mercenary in a shimmering protective husk, rendering him invulnerable. We turned the tide. Later, by the campfire, the priest whispered of treasures hidden within a cursed keep, but his eyes held only cold calculation. We stood at the gates of the silent, sunless castle. Our coin was spent, our rands empty. The treasure was no longer a desire, but the only key to our survival. Though battling spirits is a fool's errand, the priest swore his power would shatter them. Skeletal archers met us in the courtyard. The priest mended flesh, while my stone skin held the line. As husks ambushed our flank, his blessing gave the boys strength to survive the slaughter. We pressed deeper into the gloom. In a dark corner, we stumbled upon a curious speaking skull with golden teeth. He was an ancient guardian, betrayed in life. He offered a pact for the castle's secrets if we would gather his ruined bones from the mounds of the fallen. We struck a macabre bargain with the dead. When the grim task was done, we heaped together what we believed belonged to him. As if a curse had been lifted, the Guardian's ancient frame knitted itself back together. With a grim sense of purpose, as much as can be read on a skull's visage, he began to lead into a magnificent hall, now drowned in shadow. He pointed to a dark, clouded glass. As a cold draught bled through, I dispelled the veil to reveal a portal. "Through there," he said. At this point, I was wondering, what horror still awaits me in this place?